So I'm making a chicken, broccoli, and rice casserole. I've got 3/4 of a cup of rice in my bowl here. I'm going to add a can of cream of chicken soup. You can use cream of broccoli soup. You can use cream of mushroom soup, whichever you like. I've got a 16-ounce bag of broccoli florets that I'm just going to steam a little bit, that are frozen. You don't have to, but I like my broccoli a little bit more done. It doesn't quite get done when it's baking in the oven this way, so I like to steam it a little bit. It doesn't have to be cooked all the way through before you start with, but I like to get it a head start, so I usually steam it for a couple of minutes before I'll add that in. And then we're going to add some cut up chicken. You can use whole chicken breasts and lay it on top. I like to cut up the chicken myself and just use smaller bite-sized pieces. Easier for serving, but you can do whatever you like. And I'll get the rest of my stuff together here. You need a 9x13 pan that I'm going to spray. I'm going to preheat the oven to 375. Get that going, and we'll pick up in just a minute. So I've added the can of soup to the rice. I also added a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of parsley, probably a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half of minced dried onion, and a few grinds of black pepper. I'm going to add 1 1/3 cups. It calls for water, but I'm going to use, I added the water, and I added like a teaspoon of chicken bouillon to it. Maybe not even a teaspoon. And I'm just going to mix that up a little bit. It does not have to be smooth. And I'm going to add in my slightly steamed broccoli here. And as I said, I only steamed it for 3 or 4 minutes. So it's not done, but it started cooking. We'll just mix that together. That's going to go into the pan, and then we'll put the chicken on top. And you can use any boneless type of chicken. You can use, actually you could probably use whole chicken thighs even, or the boneless, but you could probably pretty much use any kind of chicken on top that you wanted. So we'll pour that into the sprayed dish. Make sure I got it well blended here. Just kind of spread it out the best you can. And I've got some chicken kebab meat that I'm going to cut up into chunks that I'm just going to put across the top. So I've just got some chicken kebab pieces. I'm just going to cut them up into bite size. And we'll put them over the top of the rice stuff. Doesn't have to be any particular size, just
whatever you prefer.
Yep.
And besides, bite size
makes it easier.
Makes it easier, and these guys can enjoy it as well.
Yep. So I've got my diced up chicken breast, and I'm just going to kind of drop it over the top. There's nothing particular pattern or anything, just kind of spread it out a little bit. And I don't know, I've probably got 1.5 pounds maybe of chicken breast. Come on out of there.
This will be a good meal for the two of us, the boys, and then probably another meal.
Yep.
And the boys.
I'll probably freeze the leftovers and we'll have it again some other chilly night. I'm going to sprinkle this with a 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs over the top, or a little more, however much, just to sprinkle over it. And then it's going to go in the oven and bake at 375. It says 45 minutes. I don't think it's going to take 45 minutes for those little chicken bites. I'll check it in 30 and see where we are. So I don't even measure it. I just sprinkle the breadcrumbs, and I've got the Italian style breadcrumbs. I just sprinkle across the top and cover it. I'm going to sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese on here as well. And then I'm going to put some foil on it. And I've got breadcrumbs everywhere, of course. Sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese, put some foil on it. We'll bake it for 30 minutes. I'll take the foil off. We'll see how far done it is, and then we'll bake it at least a few minutes without the foil to crisp it up a little bit.
It ain't cooking if you don't make a mess.
Well, I do that well. I'll just sprinkle a little Parmesan.
We both do.
A little Parmesan across the top. And you can use other cheese. Usually they tell you to not do the cheese till after you put the foil, take the foil off, but the Parmesan, I don't think it's going to matter. We'll cover it in foil. And in the oven it goes. Wrap. So it's been a half hour. I'm going to take the foil off and we'll give it 10 minutes to crisp it up a little bit. So it's been a little over 10 minutes since I took the foil off, and it's crisp up some on top. You can brown it a little longer. You can turn on the broiler if you want it a little browner and give it a couple of minutes, but it's brown enough. And it's done. So that's dinner. You can see the rice and the broccoli underneath. Good stuff.
Yep.